Excuse the way I look. It's literally been a very rough, almost 2 weeks now. So, tomorrow I am 9 weeks pregnant. So tomorrow is Halloween and I will be 9 weeks pregnant. So there's kind of been a lot that has happened since my last update. I really haven't updated much not because that there isn't much to update on, but because of how busy that I have been and how I've been feeling, and I'm actually currently feeling this way right now. So it's really, really hard for me to do this video, but I know that I really need to get this video made and done, and I was gonna get all dressed up and not dressed up, but at least dolled up and at least look more I don't even want to, more decent, I guess, than this, but I do not feel good and I don't know when that will happen, so here we are. So I started my job that I had talked about in previous videos. If you have watched my previous videos, my first day of orientation was the 21st, and it's a 2-day orientation class. And then pretty much on Wednesday of last week, they just threw us right out and we started our training and everything. So I went to my 2 days of orientation last week and everything was really good. I have been having like just episodes of like where I'd get like really, really nauseous and really, really sick to my stomach. It did happen throughout the day on and off at my orientation, because my orientation was an all-day event, both days. There was actually one point in the second day of my orientation that I felt like I was going to get sick, and that I thought I was going to throw up and that I was going to have to leave, but thankfully, I did not throw up that day, and so I was able to finish out my orientation. However, Wednesday, the next day, so I believe that's the 23rd of October, I got so sick, that early morning around 3 o'clock in the morning. I was throwing up. It was not fun. And then I was pretty much that way the rest of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. My midwife did prescribe me some Zofran, but I only took 3 doses because it didn't help. So I stopped taking it because there's no need to be taking a medication that is not helping what you are supposed to be taking it for. So I stopped taking it altogether because it just doesn't help. And then, so I went to work this week, and then, today is October 30th, and once again, I called out of work because I was, let me get situated, hold on. Okay, sorry. So, what was I saying? Oh. So today, Wednesday, I woke up this morning shortly after, well, I took my husband to work, and then I got home, and as soon as I got home, I ate breakfast, and then it was game over from there. So I called out of work again today, and so I have literally missed 4 days of work in a week and a half, which is not good. I am so far behind in my training. So I'm just really, really upset because I don't know what else to do. And I'm breaking out, as you can see. It is everywhere. It is all over my cheeks, my chin, and even up on the other side of my cheek. So that's lovely and that's fun. So last Wednesday, when the morning sickness really hit me hard, I decided I was going to go in and just talk to my midwife, check on baby, because it kind of was making me a little anxious, and I'm still am, and I actually called to get in today, and we'll get to that in a minute. So I went in and seen my midwife at 7 weeks and 6 days, and we did an ultrasound and we seen the baby. My baby was perfectly measuring at 7 weeks, 6 days, and the heartbeat was 164 beats per minute. And I will be sure to attach an ultrasound picture for everybody to see, because I do not have one printed. They do everything digitally. Actually, I do have one printed, but it's in the kitchen, and I do not feel like walking to the kitchen right now. That's one thing I do like about my clinic that I go to, is they actually will give it to you digitally too. So you can actually have it downloaded right to your phone. You don't have to worry about like taking pictures and catching a glare from the ultrasound picture. It's just right there on your screen and ready to go and post wherever you want and send it to whoever you want, and it's perfect. So I will attach that. So today on the 30th, I am 8 weeks and 6 days, and Saturday, Sunday, and Monday I was feeling really, really good. Last night I started to feel sick to my stomach, and then I woke up this morning and I still did. But I was like, oh, it'll be okay. I'll be okay. And then it hit me at like, I think it was at like 7:30 this morning or something, right in there. So I had to call out of work again today, and they were like, okay, we just need a doctor's note. So I called the nurse's line at my clinic, and they were like, well, we usually don't do doctor's notes unless you've come into the clinic. And I was like, my midwife wrote me 2 doctor's notes, last week for being sick when I didn't come into the clinic. And she knows what's going on, and she knows how sick I've been, because I just talked to her today, because I was texting her, telling her how sick I am, and that I just need some more remedies because I am so miserable. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll get back to you because we'll have to get approval before we can do it, which is policy. So I was like, whatever, it's fine, because that's what they had to do last week too. However, at 2 hours later, I was like, hey, I still haven't heard. So I called back, and they're like, oh, we're still waiting for Kathy to get back to us. She was booked full today, because I did try to get in to see her, and so I knew she was busy, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And the office closed at 5, and I called at 4. So I didn't hear anything by the time the office closed, and I never got a doctor's note. So hopefully I get one tomorrow morning, right around the time I get to work, because my employer is going to be asking for that note. They'll just email it to me, and I can just email it over. Anyway, so I called my midwife today to see if I could get in, because of the fact that I've just been so sick and so tired and so fatigued, so exhausted, and then so sick. And so I just want to go in to talk to her about all of the crap that I'm going through with my morning sickness, and how tired and fatigued I am, and I'm sleeping so much. Like on the days that I call in, I am literally just sleeping the whole day away. And she was booked full for the day. Also, I wanted to check on Babe and just make sure that the baby is okay, because it always is in the back of your mind. But she was booked full, and so I wasn't able to get in and see her, so I just texted her instead, and we kind of talked a little over text. So, but not a lot, because like I said, she was extremely busy today. So now with my job, and I really should have thought about this before, but I've been pregnant 5 times. This is my 5th pregnancy. For those of you who are new to my channel or do not know, I have 2 living children. I have 2 boys. I have a 6.5-year-old and a 5-year-old. And then I had a miscarriage in August of 2015, or it was officially September of 2015. And then Briley, we had her in August of 2016, but she had anencephaly, so she passed away shortly after she was born, after I delivered her. So this is technically baby number 5, and I've never had morning sickness. I've never even really been nauseous. I think with Bentley, I was nauseous a little bit here and there, and maybe with Brantley too, but my miscarriage in Briley was perfect. I didn't have any sickness at all. I had other symptoms, like I broke out every time. I break out every time with every pregnancy, so that's nothing new. I have tender breasts, like stuff like that, all normal. But this morning sickness thing is completely new. So it has caught me off guard completely. So with me starting this new job, I was definitely not anticipating to get morning sickness to the point where I could probably have it diagnosed as HG. And I cannot pronounce the actual word. So if you want to go Google that, go for it. Is it HG? Yeah. So now I'm trying to figure out what the best route is moving forward with my job. The only thing is that I'm within my 90 days. Obviously, I've only been there for not even a full 2 weeks yet. And they have a policy that if you leave within your 90 days, you are never allowed to come back. So I don't know what to do. I don't know, because I know eventually this will tamper off and it will go away and it will get better over time. It's just so hard to right now because of the fact that I am so sick all the time, and it's very up and down, up and down. And so I don't know if we should all like sit down and just be like, maybe we should just kind of put things on hold for now and then to come back later on in the pregnancy, just like, when it does tamper off, maybe around week 12 or 13 or so, and then come back when I'm able to be more just be there when I'm supposed to be there and not at home sick throwing up all the time. So I don't know what to do. Gotta try to get this figured out because I don't want to leave the job. I don't want to leave, but at the same time, I have already missed so much, and I don't. This doesn't feel like it's gonna be stopping anytime soon. So I'm just trying to figure out the best route for everybody, and that ain't, and if unfortunately this comes to a point where I do have to leave my job, I'd hope that they would be willing to give me an exception that I'm leaving because of what I'm leaving for, and that they'd let me come back. And if they didn't make an exception, which I can't expect them to, then unfortunately that's the case. So I do not feel good right now. I'm extremely, extremely nauseous, which is why I've burped a few times and I've tried to keep it down. And so I do apologize. I am just so nauseous. I'm so tired. I am extremely tired. But the thing is, like, I slept 6 straight hours last night, and I came home and I was supposed to get ready for work, and that's when I got sick. And then I took my kids to school. I came home, I got sick again, and then I slept for like 3 straight hours. And then I went and got them, and I came home, and I've been up since. I had to go get them from school. So this is a lot of sleep for me. And I feel like I haven't slept in like 48 hours. I am so tired. For those of you that say, oh, maybe you should go get your thyroid checked. My midwife did check my thyroid with my prenatal, my first prenatal appointment. She does a prenatal panel of blood work, and my thyroid is actually low. It's not producing enough thyroid hormone, so I'm actually on a thyroid medication to help my hormone level increase. I'm not sure if being tired is a symptom of low or high thyroid. I'm not really sure at this point. She's checking my thyroid again 4 weeks from when we did that panel, which is the 11th, which will be my next prenatal appointment. She will just recheck my thyroid. She said that we'll check it every 4 weeks. So we'll check it again on the 11th and, fix my medication according to what my thyroid looks like. I can't remember like the lowest point, because like thyroid is backwards from my understanding right now. Is if you weren't to know better, it would look like I have an overactive thyroid because my thyroid level is high. That just means I'm not producing enough of the thyroid hormone, and vice versa. So I think like the highest it could go was like a 4.5, and mine was 4.6. So it was just barely over that line, but my midwife still put me on the medication anyways, just because it's better, and you'd rather be safe than sorry, because it could be 4.6 that 1 week and then really get out of control within a week or two later. So she was like, we're just going to put you on a low dose right now, and then we'll check it again in 4 weeks. And if we need to correct the dose or change it, then we'll make changes when we need to. So, sorry, I know I keep showing my strap. So yeah, there's kind of my update. I am just, it's been rough, but it's been worth it. I would, you know, if somebody were to tell me, well, if you're gonna get pregnant, like before I got my IUD taken out, if someone were to be like, you're gonna be extremely sick and this is gonna happen and all this, would you still want to do it? And I'd be, absolutely. This is all worth it to me. This is all part of the roller coaster. And I remember looking back after Brantley's pregnancy, I was like, my pregnancies have been so easy. You know, even after like Briley's, I was like, my pregnancies have always been really easy. And I was like, I kind of wish that I could just have that one pregnancy where it kicked my butt and I could actually feel pregnant, because other than the tender boobs, which eventually went away, I never really felt pregnant until I started getting bigger and started showing and stuff like that. I never got sick. I never got the morning sickness. And I remember so many moms and stuff were like, oh, be happy that, you know, you don't get the morning sickness, be grateful, stuff like that. And I was like, well, I just kind of would like to experience, you know, I've been pregnant 4 times and I've never experienced it. My pregnancies were always super easy. I mean, I had tender breasts, but the tender breasts go away around week 9 or so. And here I am at week 9 and it's going away, but I'm also experiencing extreme morning sickness. So yeah, that hasn't been fun. Now I'm like, why did I say that? So yeah, that's it for now. Sorry that it's been so long. I don't have an actual like bump to show you. I'm only 9 weeks. I can already tell that I'm starting to show. I do show a lot earlier, like with Brantley, I started showing, like, I would say a pretty early on, like, trying to think, like around 11 or 12 weeks, I was already feeling like I was showing. With Briley, I was showing at 7 or 8 weeks, which was really weird because 7 or 8 weeks, the baby is really little, especially at 7 weeks. But I have a picture that shows from 4 to 7 weeks, there was definitely progress. And so that was pretty interesting. So I do feel like I'm showing, but I don't feel like I'd be able to really show it to you guys well. So there's no like belly update. So, oh my goodness, I am so nauseous. And I had some ramen noodles for dinner. And now I'm burping ramen noodles and it just makes me want to go throw them up. Oh boy. So, I will attach the picture of our ultrasound that we had done on the 23rd of October. And my next update will probably be when I have my next appointment, which is the 11th of November, and I will be 10 weeks and 4 days. If you guys could all just please pray that this baby is healthy and that everything is going to be looking great on the 11th. I'm still really nervous. I did get a fetal Doppler and I tried to find the heartbeat. Of course, when doing so, I was only 8 weeks and like 4 or 5 days and I couldn't find it. And of course that makes you nervous. I've had 3 C-sections, so I do have a lot of scar tissue where the baby is currently at. Looking back at Brantley's pregnancy, I did get a fetal Doppler with him and I could not find his heartbeat until about 10 or 11 weeks. So I know it's normal not to find the heartbeat, but it still makes me nervous. So if y'all could just please say a prayer that everything looking great, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, so just leaving my doctor's office actually. Say hey. Brantley's pissed. So I'm actually leaving my doctor's office because earlier today I was sitting at work and I felt like a burning sensation on my left side, and I was like, I've never felt a burning sensation before. This is new. I've been pregnant, like this is my 5th pregnancy, so it's nothing really new. So I called the nurse's line at my clinic, and I was like, this is, you know, I do have a cyst on my left side, and the burning I'm feeling is on the left side. I was like, could it be cyst related? And they are like, we can't really say yes or no. So they're like, we'll just get you in and have you checked out just to make sure. But my provider, Kathy, she was booked for the day, so I didn't get to see her. But I wanted to get in and get seen just because I didn't know what it is, and I wanted to make sure that it was nothing bad, especially with that cyst on my left side. So I went and got seen by a different provider. Like I said, that's not my usual provider. We seen the baby today. Baby is 9 weeks, 4 days, with a heartbeat of 173 beats per minute. I did, however, make the doctor that I seen actually take like a better picture of the baby's head, because it looks really good today. And I asked her, I was like, so my last baby had anencephaly, and she's like, this baby, I don't see anencephaly. I don't see anencephaly at all. So that gives me a bunch of reassurance. I made her take a picture of the head. The body picture that she took, like the whole image of the baby, it didn't really come out very well. And looking back at the appointment, I feel like she kind of just rushed me. So that's at least that's not my normal provider, because I don't like feeling like I'm being rushed. So yeah, that's not fun. But I'm just leaving. I just left, and now I'm on my way home. My husband wasn't able to make it to this appointment. He was still at work, so unfortunately he didn't get to see the baby. But we do have an appointment on Monday still, and Dr. blank, insert name here, I won't say her name, said that I need to keep my appointment with Kathy. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, it's next Monday. And she's like, yeah, just keep it. I was like, okay. So I'm gonna keep my appointment and see the baby again in a week at 10 weeks and 4 days. But it just gives me so much, I don't even know what the word is. It gives me so much reassurance to go in frequently and see the baby and the baby's head, because that is my biggest concern with this baby, is that this baby will have anencephaly, and obviously that's not what we want. But so far everything is looking very good. I have an intake appointment with periodontology, which is they just monitor my blood sugar since I am a type 1 diabetic. Last night, I forgot to tell you in my previous video, last night I had a pretty high blood sugar, and it scared me because it was literally the highest that it had been in a long time, so it scared the crap out of me. So I've been super vigilant with my numbers, just trying to be super careful. One thing that is a lot better than when I got pregnant with Briley is my A1C was a lot lower and a lot more improved. My A1C was actually, when I got pregnant with Briley, my A1C was 11.4, which is not good. And then with this pregnancy, right before I got pregnant,
like literally a week before I found out I was pregnant. So I mean, I was pregnant technically. My A1C was 7.9, so much better. So I'm being super careful and cautious, and my diabetes is a lot more managed going into this pregnancy, and that was one of my biggest goals. So no, you're not gonna kick him in the face. Kick him in the face and you're gonna go home and sit in timeout. Sit back in your seat all the way. I don't care. I don't care. Alright, well, I'm just about home, but I wanted to give you all an update, and I will be sure to drop those ultrasound pictures right after this. Hey guys, so it's the next day. It's Tuesday, November 5th. I just pulled into work. I'm just really early, so I can't clock in yet, so I'm just like not gonna go in until I can get ready and clock in and stuff. I feel like garbage today. I felt like I'm gonna throw up all day today, or all morning. I've been up since about 5:15. So yeah, I don't feel good. We'll see how today goes. If I start throwing up in work, they'll probably send me home. So today's my last day of shadowing, and then tomorrow my official training starts. So let's hope that tomorrow and the rest of this week I don't feel like this, because I can't miss training. So yeah, that's not fun. Yesterday was my husband and I's 8th wedding anniversary. We've been together for a total of 9 years, and we've been married for 8 of those 9. We didn't even really do anything. We celebrated our anniversary Saturday night. My mom took the boys, and we celebrated our anniversary on Saturday. This last Saturday. But yeah, I do not feel good. I don't feel good at all today. I feel like there's an employee right here, so I'm just trying to be like nonchalant. I just feel like I could throw up. But today's my last day of not doing anything, really, just kind of sitting on my butt and doing nothing, because I'm not even going to be taking phone calls till next week. So the rest of this week is just classroom training, except for today. Tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday is just classroom training, and then I think we'll start taking our first phone calls next week. But yeah, excuse me, I just don't feel good today. I feel so nauseous, and I don't know if I had talked about it, but my midwife had actually prescribed me Zofran, and I took I think I've taken it a total of 3 times, just because I don't like to take medicine unless I absolutely have to when I'm pregnant. I never have. Unless I'm miserably sick, then I'll take something. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel good. Plus, when I did take the Zofran, it didn't do anything for me. So I was like, well, this is for nothing. So I didn't take that. But I'm feeling pretty nauseous. Yesterday I was crashing at work. I was like dozing off. So I got me a little bit of some caffeine to take into work with me today, because I'm going to need some caffeine to stay awake. And I know you're only supposed to have like 200 milligrams a day of caffeine, I think, if that. And so I have not had any caffeine today, so I'm gonna have my caffeine right now instead of later on in the day, because that way I'm not having a hard time getting to sleep. I didn't have a hard time getting to sleep last night, but and then that way I'm not crashing at work. So oh goodness, I do not feel good. But yeah, so there's my update for 9 weeks and 5 days. I don't feel good.
So I just kind of finished putting all of my clips together. They kind of ended abruptly a few times, and I noticed that some clips did not save for some reason, and I'm not sure why, and it's a little frustrating. So I'm really sorry if the video seems kind of clashed together. I'm not really sure what happened to some of my videos. So I'm at my gym right now. I'm in the lobby, you can tell. Today I'm 9 weeks and 6 days, and it's like 8 o'clock at night, so I'll be 10 weeks pregnant tomorrow. My next appointment is on Monday the 11th, and I'll see my midwife, since I didn't get to see my midwife at my last appointment. That was just kind of like spur of the moment because of the feeling I was having on my left side. So morning sickness, I still get extremely nauseous in the morning times, and it can last until about noon-ish, and then it'll kind of tamper off around 1 sometimes, but usually around noon. So it's been manageable. That's been really good. I wanted to put a disclaimer on that I'm not complaining about morning sickness. This is a new symptom for me. Like I've said in many of those other clips, this is a new symptom for me. I've never experienced morning sickness, especially to the threshold of I'm throwing up. I'm extremely sick. So I wanted to put a disclaimer on that I'm not complaining in any way, shape, or form. I'm just simply talking about my symptoms and letting people know what my symptoms are. So that's a disclaimer that I wanted to make really quick, and I just wanted to add that to the end of this video. But I appreciate all you guys' support. I just ask for more. Thanks.